Good morning. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay. Pip and Michael here again for our live draw along, where this time we've been looking at creatures and wildlife from South America, and today we are drawing the sloth, and we're going to be learning a lot about the sloth as well. Hi Emily and Freya and Jill. I'm hoping that means you can hear us okay as well. Whose favourite animal was the sloth this week? Is it one of your favourites, Michael?
No.
You're not so fast on the sloth, okay. Oh, we've got more people joining us. Hi, Farron. Hi, Abby, if it is Abby. Yeah, so same as always, we're going to just be casually drawing along, enjoying ourselves, enjoying the creative process, learning some facts about this fascinating creature. There's no right or wrong answer with the way that you draw and what you draw with. It's all about enjoying the creative process, having fun, and learning a little something along the way as well. So, I'm going to work on my page landscapes today, and what I'm probably going to do is focus on the face of the sloth and probably this little hand with the flower, just because I thought it looked so pretty and it's a nice way of adding a bit more colour to your picture. I imagine I won't have time to do everything including the background, so that's what my key focus is going to be today. I've got some browns, I've got a couple of greys and black, and then some reds for the flower, and then some yellowy tones for around the eye mask as well. Just wanted to say I'm not new, I'm the Abby. Hello Abby. Hi from Steph, and the one that you thought was Jay. Okay, apologies, you know what I'm like. I'm getting old, I blame it on my memory going. So yeah, shall we get started then? So as always, I'm just going to use my standard HB pencil to sketch out really lightly, so if I make mistakes it's easy for me to correct as I go along. I'm just going to prop my picture somewhere I can see it more easily. Probably destroy my whole setup in the process, but we'll give it a go. So I'm going to start slightly off to the right of the page if I'm focusing just on his head. So I'm going to be drawing this round shape here, really rough sketch, and then I've got another shape that's going to represent the flower, and then this is going to be his hand, and we can see one of his claws, and we're going to learn a bit about that as well today, because there are two types of sloth, and that's two-toed sloth and three-toed sloths, and then there's subspecies within them, so we're going to learn a bit about all them, and we're going to work out which one this is as well. Well, I'm going to tell you because I know. So that is my basic form sketched out. And now that I've got that, I can start thinking about some other features. So I'm going to start with the eyes. He's got really round eyes that are looking straight at the camera person. Now, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but I've clocked this photo. Whilst it's a really cool photo, the one we're working from, it's not perfect. It's slightly out of focus, which makes it a little harder to see the sort of crisp lines and images, so we've got to use our brains to fill in the gaps and make assumptions. So when I zoom in on the nose, for example, it's a bit blurred, it's difficult for me to see the details, so I'm going to have to fill in the gaps using my imagination and my knowledge of animals on what I think the nose will look like. But I just chose this image mostly because the sloth's looking straight at the camera person. He looks like he's got a big smile on his face, and I just thought it was adorable that he's holding that red flower as well. He's got really round pupils that are quite in the centre of his eyes as well, which makes him almost look like almost like a comic character, doesn't he? Doesn't he? Like a cartoon character rather than a real animal. And he's got this awesome mask around his face as well. So I'm going to sketch those lines in as I go, so that when I come to adding colour, I've got the shape there already. His hair, I mean, they call it a mane because this is a maned sloth. It does look like a really funky 1970s haircut though he's got. Sort of frames his face. Sketching in some rough lines to begin with, and then I can build on it when I've got some colour to hand as well. Go down into the arms. You'll notice that the fur gets much longer. So I'm to sketch some of those details in as I go. I'm looking all the time at the direction the fur's growing, because it changes as you move around his arms and his hand. And again, the flower's going to be really tricky because it is blurry, it's out of focus, so we've got to just use our imaginations a bit. And you could change it to a completely different flower. You could even look up another image of a flower and replace this red one with a different coloured flower or a different kind of flower if it's going to be easier for you to fill in the gaps rather than using your imagination. Or you can just do what I'm doing and just guess or what you think it could look like. So I've got a rough outline that I'm fairly happy with. So I'm going to use my putty rubber when Michael gives it back, because he's pinched it, to rub out some of those rougher lines so that my little brain doesn't get too confused with what I've drawn. There's a lot going on the page now, isn't there? How you getting on, Michael? That doesn't sound too confident today. How do you make him have a tiny little smile? So that would be about the depth of your curve. So a big smile would be a much more deep curve, and a little smile is a shallow curve. So almost a straight line, but you don't want to just, if I show you over here, you don't want to just do a straight line with two upturns, because that's not what it looks like. So imagine you were drawing a whole circle and you go for a section of it rather than half of it. You just take a little bit of it. So the way I would do it if you're struggling is draw a circle and then rub out where you want the smile to start and end. That's how I would do that if you're struggling with that. And he's asked, are you drawing the flower? I am, but I'm kind of making it up because we can't see it too clearly. But I like the fact that it's got a pop of colour on it. Good morning, everyone. What a wonderful Monday we had today. Sloths and sunshine. Hi, Joe. It is, isn't it? I'm feeling in a really happy, joyous mood because we've got the sun. It's not too hot yet. It's just nice and comfortable. Oh, small as in width. So I'm looking at the reference picture and I'm thinking that the smile is double the width of the nose. So that's how I've worked it out, rather than across the face. Yeah. So these nostril bits now, I'm going to have to guess a little bit and use my imagination as to what they would look like based on some of the other animals we've drawn recently. So that's what I think they will look like. And if you really wanted to be accurate, you could just look up another image of a sloth that shows you the nose details, and that way you're going to get it even more accurate. Okay, I'm ready to start adding colour. So what I'm also going to do is make sure I section out the white parts of his eye, like two little windows above his pupils. I'm going to start with the black for the pupil. Ooh. I went outside the line. And then dark brown for the rounds of his eyes. So I'm going to go darker at the edges and slightly lighter towards the middle to give the impression of a sphere rather than a flat circle shape. And what I'll probably do to help myself with that is add black as well. But I'm making sure I'm leaving a section white for the highlight of his eye. Are you getting on now, Michael? I'll read some facts out in a second. Not feeling it today, Michael? Do you want to have a look? That's looking good. I like it. So, I did say I was going to read out some facts. So different sloth groups can be easily identified by their number of long curved claws and their forelimbs. The two-toed sloths, as the name suggests, have two claws on their front limbs, while the three-toed sloths have three claws on all four limbs. The two-toed sloths are also slightly larger than their three-toed counterparts, and both fall under different taxonomic families. Altogether, there are 6 sloth species that are found in the Americas, mainly in the tropical rainforests of Central and South America. So they are the Hoffman's two-toed sloth, the Linus's two-toed sloth, the pygmy three-toed sloth, the maned three-toed sloth, the brown-throated sloth, and the pale-throated sloth. Now, I believe we're drawing the maned three-toed sloth today, so slightly smaller than the two-toed sloths, but I just really liked his mask and how cute it is. Freya's going to mainly focus on the face as the body didn't go right. That's a good idea. Yeah, just switch your focus. At the moment, there are 4 sloth species listed as least concern on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. The maned three-toed sloth that we're drawing now is vulnerable, while the pygmy three-toed sloth is critically endangered, and the sloth species at greatest risk of extinction. So it's not great for the maned three-toe and the pygmy three-toed sloth at the moment. And I will talk a bit about what's causing that in a bit. How you doing, Michael?
I just need the rubber to rub the glass on.
Right, so as I said, I've added the brown, but now I'm going to use some black to add a darker element to the eyes, make them look more 3D and realistic. So again, looking at the reference picture all the time, if you can, zoom into it so you can really see the details. I love how round his eyes are. Normally, animals' eyes are a bit more oval, but they are almost perfect circles on the sloth. It just adds such a sense of character, doesn't it? Now, what I've realised I haven't got to hand is my white gel pen that I'm obsessed with at the moment, and I'm wondering if I can find it during the live, because I think that we'll need it for the fur. Dark nostrils. Got a highlight above his nose, makes it look shiny really, doesn't it? So try and keep the highlight above his nose as well. And then I'm going to work on his mouth, which I'm going to use the black pencil for, but I'm not going to go so dark with it. And then I'm going to introduce a grey tone, I think. I'm using watercolour pencils. When I add them in, I'll be able to blend these lines together a little bit better. Your hand already. Supposedly, with no sloths, there would be no avocados. Does that come from Emily or Freya? Oh, do tell. Do explain. What's the story behind that? I'm just getting that mask in now, and I'm blending in some of the yellower tones as well that you can see just above and below his eye. And they come down as well under his chin on the reference picture, and just sort of like there's a faint line of yellow, so I'm going to make sure I extend that out a bit. I've got really achy hands. Or we've got to follow up. The extinct giant ground sloths were some of the only mammals that had digestive. Oh, okay. Were some of the only mammals that had digestive systems large enough to process the huge avocado seeds. They eat them and then disperse them everywhere. So that's pretty cool. So yes, that makes sense. Yes, I've got some facts about how they digest as well. I'll share them in a second too. Furiously shading. I don't know if that's picking up. Are you in a bit of an angry mood today, Michael?
Don't like the sun.
You don't like the sun?
No.
I'm a fan. We haven't had enough of it lately, in my opinion. And then I'm going to use the grey tones again underneath. I'm going to call it his beard. And I will put some black tones in there as well, just to add a bit more shadow and tone. What are we doing for time? Not too bad. Once again, what I think I'm probably going to do is try and get water on the page quite quickly so I can go back and put more hairlines in. That's something that I've been doing a lot recently, and it does seem to be making quite a difference to the texture of the picture. I am working particularly sketchy today because I think there's a lot to be done, so I'm working quite quickly. You might have noticed in terms of the fur, because there's a lot of fur to shade. You know, Michael? Give your hands a break.
Yeah.
He's got sort of like a reddish brown that you can see at the top of his hair, around his face. So I'm going to change the brown I'm using. Don't know. Maybe our dog has got something to say at the moment. I don't know why. There's no one at the door. Maybe there is someone at the door.
Well, it probably isn't anymore.
Aching hand today. I'm struggling. Our Amelia Freya's getting ahead of me with the facts. You're going to read out all the ones I've got. Well, is that a hint? I need to read out some more facts.
Yeah. Or else you'd be like, time to read some fit. Oh,
Yeah. Well, we've done all that. Okay. Sloths are primarily folivores, feeding mostly on leaves, fruits, and sap of various trees. They have a large and efficient multi-chambered stomach that helps with digesting tough, fibrous leaves. The digestion rate is linked to its low metabolism, and more leaves can only be ingested once there is enough room in the stomach. This is often full, accounting as much as 37% of their body mass. Therefore, sloths eat very little food per day, since digestion takes a very long time to complete, sometimes even days or weeks. All modern day sloths are tree-dwelling, suspensorial mammals, spending most of their lives hanging motionless or slowly moving between tree branches using their long curved claws. Everything from feeding, sleeping, resting, to mating and giving birth happens in the trees, but there are times when even sloths must leave the comfort of their tree canopies and descend to the ground. They are incredibly picky when it comes to... Go on, Michael.
No, I can't think of
When
it.
it comes to pooping, basically. Sloths, like all living things, need to defecate, which usually happens once per week. Pooping whilst hanging upside down might seem like an easier option, but sloths are incredibly fussy when it comes to personal hygiene. In the wild, they are known to make a slow, arduous journey from the tree canopy to the bottom of the same tree in order to poo or urinate on the forest floor.
I've got another fact, they swim faster in water.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's all breeds of sloth or all species of sloth, but yes, they can move a lot faster in water than they do in the trees.
Yeah, if they were trying to run away, which I don't think they could, but see some water, they'd throw themselves in the water and be like, bye. Yeah, that's why they live in the trees, because they're so slow.
Yeah, they wouldn't get away from any predators on the ground, though. The canopy provides them with some protection, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Already? Blimey. Abby's put, ew. Yeah, well, at least they go downstairs. They don't poo in their homes
Oh,
or where they sleep.
I thought she put eel as in like the animal.
And no, as in ew.
I was like, what?
Oh, I know what she meant.
No, I'm not.
Right, I'm worried I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to focus on getting this flour in,
Well,
or at
mine's
least
done
something
already.
that resembles a cut of flour anyway.
I don't know what mine did. It looks like it's got fingers instead of a flower.
Well, they kind of... Oh, the fingers.
No.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Flower.
Yeah, I see it. So talented, Abby. Stop. But thank you. It's lovely to be able to do a job
Stop.
where you are doing something you adore.
Stop.
And that's definitely what I feel like I do with
I'm
draw
gonna do an
alongs.
avocado.
That's a good addition to add to it.
I don't think I could put
It's
it.
relevant as well, isn't it? Michael just said he's going to add an avocado.
No, I'm just gonna literally fill a page.
Oh, just a random avocados, not as part of your illustration today.
Yeah, no, it's still drying, so
Oh, okay.
literally just gonna make a massive avocado because I can.
Why not indeed?
I need my pencil. I don't have a green.
Getting some of that sort of yellowy tone on his claw.
I mean, I could put an avocado on there when it's dried, but it's gonna take a while.
Cool, you can.
Avocado, not cool.
Freya was actually using water for once because she doesn't normally use it. It's a good idea to push yourself you can't outside of your comfort zone. Like I said, I used to only sketch it in pencil, as in no colour, because it is more challenging. I think for me, it has been more challenging adding colour.
I don't think I can.
But now I can't remember the last time I sketched just in pencil. To be honest, I think I keep choosing to use colour.
It's a sick avocado. I don't know how avocados can be sick, but so much my greens.
Because you use green in your full background quite a lot, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah, because I did that crocodile, didn't I? We did the crocodile.
Yeah.
I used a lot of green. Hello, how does this just take me 5 seconds to draw?
I'm looking a little bit too sketchy for my liking. I think I am struggling for time today. But I'm going to give it a good go. Might come back to it. I think what I might do is concentrate on the water on the face, so I've got time to add in some fur lines afterwards and then see how much more I can get done in the time I've got left, because I want to read out some more facts for you guys as well. So,
Just get Freya and Emily to do it.
and big with black pupils. What pencils do you use, the Sloth? What would you use? The Sloth looks amazing from Amy. I use, thanks by the way, Castle Arts. I'll show you on the camera. Where's the? That's what I use. And I've got a great big tin. I wouldn't say you need to necessarily get a great big tin because I tend to use the same white colours over and over again, which is why some of them are particularly short. Freya said the part of the body kind of merges in with the head. I don't know what to do. Yeah, so what I would do is where you can see, just make sure you've got the darker there and the lighter here. So if you can try create some darker tones, it might make it look more accurate. Mine's not quite there yet anyway.
Done.
Well done, Michael. I am not. I feel like this paintbrush is too thick, but the other one's too little. I must be missing one somewhere. Don't forget, guys, that if you wanted to extend your learning, I've got some worksheets that I made up for you on the discussion tab of this. If you can't find it, I will be uploading them shortly to our website, and we've got worksheets from last terms as well on there. So if you missed any from last term, the live events are still on our past events on this page, and they're on YouTube now as well. So you can always go back and retrospectively do old draw-alongs if you wanted to. Be able to read out some facts for me.
No, yeah.
This one here. See it?
What? Where it says life?
Yes.
Wait, wait.
No.
Life can be difficult on the ground for sloths since their long clawed arms and shorter weak hind legs make it impossible to stand on all fours. However, they are surprisingly strong swimmers. Sloth species living near mangroves or rivers sometimes drop into water bodies and swim large
Distances. And breathe.
in a short amount of time when searching for potential mating partners or seeking new territory. It's true, sloths are incredible slow-moving mammals, often hanging
That's right, carry on.
mostly on branches between feeding and sleeping, which can be up to 15 to 20 hours every day. But there are perfectly valid reasons why. It's a survival strategy that works. Sloths compensate for their low energy leaf based diet by adopting,
that's right.
okay, a slow paced lifestyle and expending
As little energy
expending, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as little energy as possible.
So it means they move slowly so that they're conserving their energy, basically.
Yeah. Also, the fact that sloths have been around for 65.5 million years, just before dinosaurs disappeared, shows that a slow-paced lifestyle can be a good survival strategy in the wild.
Cool.
The sloth's extinct kin included elephant-sized giants who also specialised in feeding on tough, fibrous leaves. This proves to be an advantage. Less competition for both extinct and extant sloth species, as they were well adapted to different environments on the ground and even at sea.
Nice.
Have I got to read another 3 pages?
No, I do. I think I thought I had less time than I had.
Yeah,
To be fair, looking at what I've done now.
Based on fossil records and genetic studies, the three-toed sloth is related to giant ground sloths, including the elephant-sized Megatherium.
Do you need me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, where is it?
Right at the bottom. Not right at the bottom.
Megatherium. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying. And pony-sized megaloinks.
Pony-sized.
Pony-sized.
Pony-sized sloth. Can you imagine?
Well, pony-sized are only
still pretty big. Pretty big.
I'm just going to say megaloinks, which were found in Central and South America around 10,000 years ago. Another extinct genus of the ground sloth,
Do you need me to take a break?
yeah, no.
Okay. We'll take a break there. I'll carry on with me adding water first so that I've got time for it to dry and then I'll read out some more.
It had 3 S's, 2 L. I have no idea what it was.
Right.
He looks surprised.
He does, doesn't he?
He does. He's like, I have a flower.
Yeah, it's like, hello.
That's Mako.
And it's that wide-eyed look. I think it does make it look...
That's
when you're surprised, your eyes widen, don't they?
That's Mako when we come downstairs from sleep. And she's like, oh, no.
But mine's a bit weird. Well, to be fair, as creatures go, sloths are a little bit weird, aren't they? They are strange looking.
I mean, you should see mine. I don't even know what it is.
They remind me, there's a film I used to watch as a kid and I love it. It's a Jim Henson film. Anyone older watching might know it. The Dark Crystal. And it's all animatronics and puppeteers and stuff. And there's a couple of creatures in it that really remind me of, I'm sure they got inspiration from sloths. They were these big friendly creatures that the fairy creatures in characters rode. And they've got long arms. And they've got the claws. I'm sure they've got the claws. The more I think about it, the more I think they must have based them off the sloths.
What's
the bad guys?
No, big flying creature, the white flying.
I don't know what you're on about now. I think you're thinking of Never Ending Story.
Oh yeah.
You're confusing all 80s films as being the same.
I have seen Dark Crystal. I have seen it because I've got the DVD upstairs. See, yeah. Yeah, the Dark Crystal's a bit dark.
It is.
No wonder it's called the Dark Crystal. I only probably watched them because you watch them.
Yeah.
I would never watch them if you didn't watch them.
No. Let's see if I can fix this flower.
If you already watercoloured all of it,
Yeah, that's why I think I think I was panicking unnecessarily.
You've
But
got
it
20
means
minutes.
I can read out some more facts, and then whilst it's dry, and then go in with a pencil again and build up the texture like we've been doing recently. Can you have a look in the drawers over there, Mike, and see if you can find a white gel pen?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I think that's really good, especially because when you look at the fur of the sloth, it's almost grey white. A lot of the strands of fur should be in the second drawer down. It might be in the paintbrush box. No. No. Our new favourite thing, and I've lost it. But I'll read out some more facts whilst I wait for the paper to dry a little bit.
Oh, found it.
Found it, oh brilliant. Yes, that's the one. Wicked. No, it's mine. Don't try and claim my stuff. That's definitely mine.
Oh yeah, because I got mine.
This was interesting. So if you look at photos of sloths, you might notice that some of their fur looks green in colour, and this explains why. So the sloth's hair is a living, breathing home to many different organisms, from microbes, insects to fungi and algae. Even the entire life cycle of some moth species relies almost exclusively on sloths. So when a sloth climbs down to poo on the forest floor, female moths lay their eggs in the poo. Once adult moths emerge from the poo, they fly to the canopy to mate in the sloth's fur, and the whole cycle begins all over again. Sloths also have a special symbiotic relationship with green algae for the purpose of supplementing their diet. In return, the green algae benefits from shelter and water, since the sloth's fur is extremely good at absorbing and retaining water. The algae-covered fur is also believed to work as a camouflage to avoid predation. Sloths are often hunted by predators such as harpy eagles, ocelots and jaguars, who mainly rely on movement to track their prey. So the algae-covered fur and the motionless hanging help sloths to blend with their surroundings, making it almost impossible to detect them in the wild. How cool is that?
Not cool.
That's really clever. I think anyway. Right. I'm going to go in and start building up a bit more tone and depth, but also add in more fur lines so that it looks more hairy, because he is particularly hairy looking. And how do you draw at the toes? I'm struggling with my words today. I literally have only drawn one claw. Oh, I did it with a red pencil then. All I've drawn in is this one here, and I've just done it as a slightly curved yellowish part of the sloth. I can't see any more claws on the image I'm drawing from, but you just want to look like thick bones really, so a slightly yellow tinge helps with that I think, and a fairly sharp line. Right, let's go in and...
I've got nothing to do. Finishing on.
You do it all the time though.
Yeah, I don't like it.
How do we do it for time? 15 minutes, so enough time to build up nice fur texture, hairy texture on the sloth. Especially the mane, because this is the maned sloth after all. You want it to look quite dramatic. And his face. We've got a parakeet in our garden. I keep hearing it. I don't know if it's picking up on the microphone. matching colours. Getting there, getting there. So I need to focus on the hand now.
Equal
Fur lines. I've got
15 minutes.
loads of time. What am I panicking about?
It's like
Do
more
this sometimes,
cartoony.
Yeah, but he does look cartoony, doesn't he? When you look at him, these features, that's what I'm saying. The big round eyes and almost cartoony grin on his face. It's not something you see much in animals. So it does give him that sort of cartoony feel, I think. I might use the black to get some darker hairlines in, and then finally it will be the white gel pen. Has anybody else invested in a gel pen since I started using it? Have you found it's helped your drawings at all? So going in with the white pens now, just to add in some white fur lines. You can't see it so well, probably on the camera, but I feel like it makes a difference when you can see the picture up close. And if there's a couple of highlights, I can use the white pen for that as well. So let's read out some more facts for you guys, because I think I'm pretty much done on my sloth. The average lifespan of a two-toed sloth is believed to be up to 20 years. However, it's difficult to accurately... Oh, nearly just tipped a whole pint of water everywhere. It's difficult to accurately estimate the average lifespan among sloth species, since there haven't been many studies conducted on their natural environments. In captivity, there was a two-toed sloth. Try saying that 5 times quickly, that's impossible. Also known as Miss C, and she lived to the ripe age of 43. Three-toed sloths tend to live between 20 and 30 years. Most sloths are listed as least concern, but as we said earlier, there are a couple of species that are vulnerable or threatened. Female sloths give birth to one baby a year after a pregnancy of 6 months. The baby sticks with her mother for about 6 months, grasping its mum's belly as she moves through the trees. This is an important bonding period that helps the offspring to learn and develop. That was it. That was the last of my facts. I read through all. So there we go. That is the main three-toed main sloth that we've been drawing today. If you wanted to embed your learning or extend your learning, there is a worksheet available. There's several worksheets available, so that different ages can join in with it. Don't forget to sign your picture, date your picture. That's the final step artist takes on their drawing. Jacinta has said, we've loved drawing the sloth. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Thanks so much. You're amazing. Please keep the amazing draw along coming. Oh, thank Thank you. You just made my Monday and my week. Yeah, Draw Along is here to stay. We've been doing it for a good 18 months now.
You said 18 years.
Don't forget that if you want some feedback on your sloths between 1 and 3 today, the post of my drawing will go up on the main page. Make sure you upload yours before 3 o'clock if you would like some feedback. Next week we are drawing the toucan. It's going to be another recording next week, just because I need to make the most of this weather, and so I'm going away next weekend. But the following week we should be back to normal with whatever we are drawing the following week. I cannot recall. I feel like it might be a frog, a poison tree dart frog or something like that. Another very, very colourful. Oh, Debbie's asked, can we see Michael's, please?
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then
There we go.
How much do you want it's on the next page?
So Michael's you've gone with like a sunset in the background. Nice. I think your flower looks like a flower. I can see why you would say it looks like a hand, but just because there's 5 digits to it. But your sloth, you've added in sticking his tongue out, I see. This is becoming a common feature. And then you moved on to do an avocado, because somebody mentioned about avocados. I think it was Emily. So yes, we will see you next week. Thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure, never a chore. And I'm looking forward to seeing your sloths this afternoon. Have a lovely week, everyone. Enjoy some of the sunshine whilst we've got it. See you all later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.